No, let's get this meeting started this morning. You want to shut that door, Jenny? All right, we'll call this Commissioners Court meeting to order, December the 10th, 2024. Let's please all rise for the invocation. Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for all your blessings, Lord. We thank you for your wisdom and your guidance as we go about the business of the taxpayers and the citizens of Brewster County. We thank you for all that you provide. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Okay. All right, good morning, all.
Good morning, Judge.
I think we've got Commissioner Colondo was able to attract the flu.
Oh, my God.
Yep, I know. I've been there, was there last week, so at least you'll be immune like I am. I'm immune.
You sound better.
Yeah, don't that sound good? All right, let's review, discuss, and take action on the Commissioners Court meeting of November 26th.
I'll find them in order and move to approve.
All right, motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Public comment. Looks like we've got one public comment this morning. Linda Molinar, do you want to come on up?
Good morning. My name is Linda Molinar. I'm the CEO for PCHS, and I'm here just to thank especially the county judge, as he's been one of our cheerleaders helping us get there interlingua. He let us use EMS building, and I think it has gone well. At this point, it's a one day. I know we're working on trying to use your other building. I'm not sure what the names of these buildings are, to still continue staying interlingua for a little longer. In the future, we're planning to we already allocated money to buy a building down there. We want to stay interlingua. It's part of Brewster. It's our community. And so I also want to invite you all to come and visit our clinic here, as healthcare is one of the most important issues in any community. I think we should be part more of coming in meetings, but the same way I'm inviting you guys to come and visit us. Thank you.
Yeah, I should come see you for that flu shot before I got to.
By the way, we can come to the county and do all the flu shots. We actually do that for a lot of other organizations. You tell us a date and we show up. If the county wants to pay for the flu shots, good. If they want us to bill their employees insurance, we could do that. It's a great way of doing it in October, so then nobody's sick in November and December.
Good, thank you. Very good. All right, number 6, recognitions, announcements. Anything, commissioners, this morning? Lots of festivities going on.
Well, there was a beautiful tree lighting. And it does look good. The courthouse does look good. Yeah, there were the growing pains, a few glitches here and there. But
now we're working on the lights. They're either all on or all off. Or this morning I came in and it was like lit up, and then all of a sudden it went dark. We're working on the timer.
It is a timer issue, and we needed to keep the young kids off the trees.
I will tell you that
They were climbing the lighted trees. So yeah.
As you know, I sent my lovely wife to be the master of ceremonies Saturday night because I was under the couch.
Yeah.
And she was fit to be tied when she saw the kids climbing the tree.
Yes, there's
using the wires to climb the tree.
Hey, grabbed on something and had something to pull up.
Well, yeah, I figured there'd be an after action meeting for all that.
Yeah, so it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, but it looked beautiful.
It looked pretty. I come Saturday to pick up my daughter at that.
Just FYI, the new black pole lights, once we take the Christmas light down now, are they're all night sky compliant, 100%. And they're going to cast a nice light down on the sidewalk without blasting it up into the atmosphere.
They're very nice.
Good. All right, we've got anything else on the announcements? Lots of Christmas parties coming up.
Staycations.
Yep,
You
exactly.
call it shoot.
Christmas luncheon.
We have a Christmas luncheon coming up with the sheriff next Wednesday over at the Allegiant for all county employees, right?
And family.
And family. All right, nothing from the city of Alpine this morning, county judge report. I don't have anything specific. Sheriff is not going to be able to make it this morning. He's got something that's come up. I'll come back to him in a second. I'm going to give, we'll skip down to number 13 real quick and let Judge Walterman tell us a little bit about JP's office and what's going on over there.
Thanks, appreciate it. Thanks for moving me up. Judge Hennington asked me to give an update on what's going on in our office. We got a second person in the hopes of collecting some old fines that were owed. Unfortunately, I don't have a specific number. I can't, it's, given our system, it's hard to differentiate between, the tickets that were filed prior to, say, 2022 that have been collected since. There's no way to do that in our system. I would estimate it at $50,000 to $60,000 additional revenue. And I'll give you some numbers that you can try and kind of glean that from. The first evidence of improvement is we've emptied about 6 filing cabinets of old files. So those have been digitized. We've sorted out what we can pursue and what we can't pursue. So that's the very first thing that we had to accomplish in moving forward. And poor Roland Baez, when he was here, he entered probably 4,000 cases into our computer system. Some metrics that I think are indicative of how things are going in 2022, we added, and this is just strictly C misdemeanors, we added 1,507 cases. We disposed of 1,296 for a completion rate of 85%. 2023, we added 1,353 cases. We disposed 1,171 for an 87% disposal rate. In 2024, we added 1,300 cases so far. We've disposed 1,891. So our completion rate has gone up to 144%. So we've radically improved our completion. What that doesn't show, and we've actually I collected an old ticket from Great Britain, just as a matter of being able to send out the messages and reach out and touch people. We've collected tickets from as far back as the year 2000, because we've been able to go back, find those, sort through all this stuff, and also go back after that stuff. In 2023, we issued about 50 warrants on outstanding citations. This year we're up to almost 400. So we're really reaching out and touching people, pocketbook or whatever it takes. And along with that, we've been able to stay current. In the past, with one clerk, they would get a citation, their appearance date would appear or would arrive. If they didn't show up, it just went to collections or to Omni. So they can't renew their license because they didn't have the staff. So now what happens is if you get a citation, your appearance date shows, you don't show up, you get a 30-day notice of failure to appear prior to issuance of a warrant. So that little nudge has radically improved our collections rate. I can't put a number on it because our system, I haven't figured out how to query our system sufficiently. But I know our collections rate has become much more current than it used to be. In 2022, our total collected for the year was $230,000. 2023, it was $220,000. This year so far, we're at almost $290,000. So our revenues have jumped significantly. Our completion rate has radically improved. And it's much greatly streamlined our operation now, especially now that all those file cabinets are empty. And that stuff is in the system. We know what we can go after, and we have the system to be able to send out those letters. Sometimes, the old tickets, we'll send them a notice and it comes back undeliverable. There's not much we can do except let Omni or Linebarger catch it that way. But the active cases that we can take action on, we are as much as possible. So the warrants and reaching out and touching people with current letters has greatly improved our access, but that's only because, we've got the second person, so that's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, so last year as a budget, the budget item was 90,000 in revenue from the JP's office, and the actual collections was 168,000. So we far exceeded our revenue budget for this, which leads to the two action items we need to talk about. You want to explain to the court about the prosecutor?
I appointed a prosecutor pro tem. Our county prosecutor came in and said he's not prosecuting anything out of my court and not guilty, so he would not pursue those. So I've appointed a prosecutor pro tem, which by law I can do. the county is required to pay them. And I know you wanted to create a line item. I just have a couple of thoughts on this. One, that the image, the optics of it may not be the best. The judge's office paying the prosecutor directly may not be in our best interest. And I really don't feel like that should be taxed to my office. But, you know, it's, you know, been dealt a hand and I'm playing it as hard as we can. And this is where we find ourselves.
Well, but we've got, the thing we gotta deal with today is we've got $2,100 in prosecutorial fees for Bob Steele to prosecute these cases that we clearly won out on. So
Yeah.
bottom line, from a money standpoint, we've received far more than what we cost to go collect them. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in favor of paying those bills. Those bills were not in our budget, so we're gonna go back and then this work was done in 24, so we're talking about creating a line item in 24 just to make provision for this expense that we didn't have. So that's what we're gonna approve today. I don't know that we're gonna do this in 25 because we don't know what.
Right.
the new,
And I haven't talked to
attorney
the,
says.
I haven't talked to the incoming county attorney yet. I suspect we won't have to, but I don't know.
So I think duly noted on where you would like it to be put, but what I want to do is I want to tie the revenues to the expenses. And a lot of times in our county budget, we're just like, well, how much did this cost us? Well, it cost us this, and then we have to go looking on an Easter egg hunt to figure out, well, it really cost us more than this because we've got expenses over here and here. So trying to, in my mind, simple accounting mind, I want revenues and expenses to be tied together. Having said that, we're gonna fix 24 this morning, and I don't know, I think we're gonna leave 25 silent. Can we do that, Melinda, where we just do it for 24? We'll come back to the court for 25.
We can come back for 25 if we need to. The other thing is we slightly changed the title on that account. If you noticed in your packet, from prosecutorial to legal fees, collections.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So that we get that prosecutorial out of his office. But we were also able to just do a line item adjustment rather than a budget amendment because there was extra in the medical insurance expense for your office. So we just shifted that down.
Okay, good.
Okay, so.
And then if we need to look at it for 25, we can.
Okay, so we need to take two action items, right? One is to approve the line item and one to approve the $2,100.
To approve the $2,100 expenditure to be paid later. It's not in the list for today, but and then to approve the item transfer, correct?
Okay,
Thanks.
so I'll make a motion that we approve the $2,100 in fees to Robert Steele for his legal fees associated with collection of the outstanding citations.
These are for one or numerous citations?
Numerous.
Numerous, yeah.
Second. All right, motion and second. Any discussion about that? Basically, this is for fiscal year 2024. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then, you want a line item created?
We got a line
I mean, a budget item.
We have a line item created in your department, 010-455-401, called legal fees -collection.
Okay, so I make a motion that we create that line item in the JP1 account
And do the line item transfer.
and do the line item transfer. That motion is second. Questions, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Done.
Thanks. I
Thank
gotta
you.
go see a man about some kangaroos.
There you go. You gonna bring him down to the courthouse?
In the summer, I'll reach
Okay, we're gonna go back to number 9, the sheriff's office. Sheriff wasn't able to be here today. He's got some fires burning, but really all we were reporting, he had an abandoned vehicle auction. What, 2 weekends ago, I think, he sold off a bunch of cars that had been collected and he raised $130,000. And I just wanted him to come in and tell us. But we got the listing, we got the monies, I got rid of the cars, all's good. Just wanted the court to be aware of that auction. And that goes into his abandoned vehicle account. That's all I have from the sheriff. Any questions? Okay. All right, number 10, review and discuss excess tax proceeds report. There was no action here, but Sarah, you want to tell us a little bit about the history of this, or you want me to lead into it? Okay. Tell the court kind of
From the
where it started
beginning?
about, what, 2 years ago?
Okay.
When you first came to me?
Right, so when I first took office, I was looking over all the bank accounts. And I noticed there was one that was excess tax proceeds and it had over $200,000 in it. And I knew something had to be wrong because when you have excess tax proceeds, they should be paid out every 2 years. So when we get excess proceeds, we hold them for 2 years. If nobody claims that money, then it goes out to all the entities. And with Judge Hennington's help, we were able to figure out what cases all these were, what sales they were. They were like pretty much back in like 2015, 16, 17, those years. It took us a while. It took about a year. This was about a year project to do. So it was going back, finding all these files and getting all the paperwork to our current tax attorney. So they weren't the attorneys at the time. So then even they had to do stuff. So anyway, with a long process, we were able to figure all that out and get monies dispersed. And the total amount that went out was $144,460.90. And the county ended up getting $34,657.38 from that money that would have just sat there, I guess.
And had been sitting there for a
And
while.
had been sitting there for
Right.
years. So all entities got something, the Terlingua School got $96,606.29. The hospital district, $11,740.99. Alpine ISD, $348.56. And the city of Alpine, $557.68. And then when I was researching all these old ones, I came across a different old one that belonged to the city of Alpine. And that payout was $6,365.17. So all total monies that came out of that account was $150,826.07. So that's
Fantastic.
a lot of money.
And now our books are all right.
Well, no.
Too
So,
much to ask for.
yes. Now that project's over,
Yeah.
looking in the account, there is roughly about 67,000 that we need to find. So we probably need to do that project again.
Okay.
And maybe it's older than 2015 sales. That it has to be, because anything other than that, it's caught up to speed. So it's got to be some even older, or it could even be money that belongs to something else, because I have found that too, where it's like an FBO, which is like a minor child, a civil lawsuit that came, and this money belongs to a minor. When they turn 18, now they get that money. And I had one, and the money was in where it shouldn't be. It should have been in an account that was accruing interest, and it was actually in the public registrar clerk account. So it could even be that. And that's the thing, is that there's really no way for me to know. It's just.
So we'll have to talk about what we're gonna do on that piece.
If we can get the way you got all those cases, then what I do is I take those cause numbers and I go hunt them down and I look and see, okay, there was a tax sale on this. Then I have to go to the bank accounts and go through all those statements and see, okay, am I seeing the money go in? That's how I figured all this out. I saw that the money was deposited and then nothing ever went out. So that's how all that came about.
Well, it's great work in getting this money into its proper place. And it sounds like the Terlingua School came out the best.
Yes.
And it tells me all that was all land sales from down south.
Wow.
Good. So anyway, good job. We'll chase down the 67 after. I've got Melinda. She's a great numbers chaser. So.
Mhm.
Well, this proves again that follow the money.
Yes. And, now that I'm in there, I have a system where I keep up, so I know when we had a tax sale, what cases were involved, when is the 2 years up, you know, so that I'm keeping track of all that so that the money's flowing the way it's supposed to. So,
Great job.
y'all have any questions?
Well, money.
Thank you for your good work.
Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate you. All right, number 11 is to discuss and take possible action to declare the light fixtures that were here outside of the courthouse as salvage and available for sale via the county auction process. There's a photo for you guys if you want to see it. It's the old, I call them the Disneyland lights that we have out there. I'd like to declare them salvage. They're sitting at the road and bridge, no, they're over facility. And declare them salvage, and we'll put them on the auction. And
So moved.
Motion, need a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Number 12, discuss and take possible action to approve the Dell Financial Services lease for county computers. So some years back, the county decided to wisely to have all of the computers be consolidated under one lease or one master lease. And then as the computers reach their obsolescence, then they're turned back into them and we get another set. Because prior to that, we had sort of a jumbled mess of computers and different kind of computers. So now that's been tracking. So this lease is coming up for renewal, and we just need an approval for that.
So
All right, I'll second it. Any discussion? All right, all in favor of renewing the lease for Dell Financial Services, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's an aye for me. Okay. All right, moving fast today. All right, number 14, Road and Bridge.
Not much going on the week of Thanksgiving, but after Thanksgiving, things got kind of busy. We moved some equipment from there down to the Double Diamond area. We'll kind of couple of ends up there. And we started on them and almost done. And then we're moving over to Wagon Road and Trail Road. I've had a few complaints there on the road. And it's been, of course, they had a rain here a couple of weeks ago that tore them up pretty bad. We also got a report on a Friday evening about a tree falling over on the roadway, but it wasn't on the roadway. It turned out to be on the owner's property. But the tree itself was on county easement. So we might be liable for cleanup on that.
we are, no.
Our tree fell in their property.
Yeah, that's come, I told you to clean.
Okay.
Well, we went out there and looked at it and see what we were gonna have to have. And I actually took a drive out there yesterday and somebody had already hit some of the tree limbs to try to trim it down, which is fine. If it helps us from having to move everything from the property owner over to the right of way for us to take care of it, that'll help. And also last Monday, we shipped out the IT-18 cat loader that was sold at auction. And then we received a new one a day afterwards. We received a new loader. And we put the new dump truck to work. It's got a few scratches on it now, Judge, so. Yeah. But other than that, no permit reports.
Okay.
I've hired a couple of guys. They're on the probation period, and I hope they work out.
Good.
I've still got 2, 3, 4 applicants that are, I need to get a hold of them and set up interviews and see how it goes from there.
I don't know if you know, but we put that old loader up at a minimum bid of 12 and we ended up getting 19.6 for it.
Oh, nice. Started a bidding war.
Yeah, got a little bidding war going on. They paid for, well, not necessarily overpaid, but they paid what we're gonna set our number, so. Good.
Good.
All right, nothing else, Johnny? No, sir. Okay, thank you. All right, whatever number that is. 15, emergency management.
I've been gone, so nothing's been happening, so we're good. Just kidding. Before I left, we had I don't know if you brought it about the music video shoot out.
Tell them a little bit about it.
So there was a music video shoot down in 118 with Chris Stapleton and Josh Brolin for the music video White Horse, and they called us out there because they blew up a car, and so that was kind of a big issue. We went out there and supervised. Fire department was out there. Safety range management was out there to make sure that nothing was too extravagant. Went off without a hitch. They made a nice donation to everybody. And
Made a donation to the fire department, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How much, you remember?
$1,500.
Okay.
So we're hoping, knocking on wood, that Chris Stapleton says, "Hey, here's a new engine for you." We'll see.
Well, we did get a helmet signed by him.
We got a helmet and an axe signed by Chris Stapleton and Josh Brolin, which whenever we have an event, we're gonna auction them off. I just wanted to get an axe because I wanted people to ask, "How did you get an axe into a concert?" I'm like, yeah, moving forward with that, we're going to extend the burn ban. Even though it's cold, that means it's freezing this vegetation, killing it. It's going to make it dry as soon as it gets a little bit more warmer outside, and it's just going to start more fuel. The humidity outside is really heavy, so a fire starting will take a lot in order for a fire to get started. We did have a fire a couple weeks ago of an individual that had a barbecue pit, and it tipped over in the wind and caught his house on fire. But the fire department was quick and got to it really quick, and minor facial damage, but nothing big. So we're looking to extend the burn ban from December 2nd all the way to January 16th.
Make a motion to extend the burn ban from December 2nd for 45 days.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anybody else? James Court wants to express its condolences to you for the loss of your mother. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. We're now on the treasurer's office, number 16.
Good morning. I have a financial report for you today, but I did want to give y'all a couple updates about what's going on. First, I wanted to talk about about TransPay's banks and, they're affecting our basic reconciliation right now. Our goal is to have our bank recs done through November, at the end of the month. Of course, TransPay banks is having, did their software conversion, so it's been updated, everything, and we've had a hard time getting, actual bank statements from October and November. We finally got October, couple of days ago. We're on them for November. November we're having issues with because they sent us bank statements, but they had no check numbers, no check images, and the bank is trying to work out the issues to converge them together. So that's kind of holding us up at this point because it's kind of hard to reconcile without check numbers and check images, just to check off our discrepancies and stuff.
Can we get a statement? We just can't, we get a statement of a list, but we just don't have the numbers or the images.
Yeah, and some of the bigger accounts like operations clearing, where we have hundreds of checks clearing often, it's kind of hard to reconcile without at least if we had the check images, we could tie them, but we don't even have check images or the check numbers.
Is it fixed going forward? It's just affecting these months, or like when we get to the end of December, are we going to be able to see December's numbers? And
well, we hope that, if they give us a correct statement for November, like for all the bank accounts, I hope not having this issue for December and going forward. Like once it's fixed, it should be fixed.
Are they, is that what they said that they were gonna fix? I've got the same problem.
I'm working, I haven't,
Yeah, on your deposits, you don't know,
You don't know what it is.
yeah, you don't know, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a line item and a
Yes.
number.
yeah.
So,
One of their numbers, not the number from the bank.
yeah, what I have been able to do, like on operating, is go in and I was able to download a CSV file that does have the check numbers on some of it, so I could clear probably 80%. But it's still a problem that when they are scanning the checks, you sometimes have something come up as null or whatever else, and the only way to figure out what check that is to go through and look at the image of the check to see what actually cleared, and that's the piece we're missing right now. So for instance, on operating, it's kind of mostly done, but can't really be finished up and adjusted until we get those images. When did we talk to her?
Yes,
Yesterday. Yesterday.
we had to go above Johanna to try to get the November statements yesterday. And then, we were promised the check images and check numbers yesterday, but haven't received them yet. So
Okay.
for some of the smaller bank accounts, it's not so much of a problem. We can work with what we've got, but it's the bigger ones like clearing in general and.
Well, I suspect if Ruben's having it, there's other businesses that are probably experiencing this. Gotta be working its way. We'll stay on it. Thank y'all for let me know. We'll talk about it in the finance meeting, but we may need to call them in or something to see what's going on. Critical that we not lose momentum on this.
Right, exactly.
Well, and the other, just real quickly, the other issue that it's causing is like if there is a question about a payment or something, going in and finding that to be able to definitively say, well, yes, it cleared the bank on the state, without having those check numbers on there, you can't do that.
It's just more time consuming.
Yeah.
Right. All right, anything else from the treasurer?
No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. All right, number 17, the comptroller.
So we've already talked about one of the line item transfer amounts that we have. The other one that we need to make is in, we're taking 1,700 from employee enrichment. This goes back into 24. And moving it to jury expenses. And this has to do with the trial where there was a change of venue to Pecos to get that paid. And then we've also moved $566.04 within the jail account for maintenance and supplies to the prisoners board for payment of the Benny Keith bill. And then budget amendment. This has to do with the janitorial services in Terlingua and Marathon to increase the budgeted amount by $300 for Terlingua and $300 for Marathon. And that will be coming out of the budget fund balance account. So
What is the medical insurance and legal fees collection again?
the 2,100 is what you were talking about with JP1.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And we thought we were gonna have to do an actual budget adjustment, but there was excess budget in the employee medical insurance account. And so we were moving that $2,100 from there rather than doing a full budget amendment.
Okay, and then on the maintenance supplies to prisoners board, they were short on
They were a little bit short on a Benny Keith invoice.
I got you.
For food.
I'll make a motion that we accept the line item transfers and the budget amendment as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, what else you got,
Okay,
Melinda?
we've also got some payments. We've got some amounts that were paid on November 27th. Total coming out of the general fund was $14,014.37. There was an additional $683.40 coming out of other funds for a grand total of $14,697.77. These were all amounts that were less than $10,000. The ones that we are have scheduled to be paid today We have $129,543.96 out of the general fund. We also have $35,335.13 coming out of other funds. And that is a grand total of $164,879.09. And you should have the accounts payable register detailing those payments attached to each one of those.
Make a motion to approve all items and pay general bills and no one abstain from.
Okay. Motion.
I'll second.
Second. Okay, motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the bills as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. What else?
Just plugging along, some of it we've talked about with the bank situation. One bit of good news, we had our first data extraction from net data over to Tyler. There's still a good bit of cleanup, quote unquote, that needs to be done, but it went pretty smoothly. They set up a secure server on net data's end and then provided the access information. And I got confirmation yesterday afternoon that the guy from Tyler had been able to pull that over with no issues.
All right, so that went smoothly.
So it's progressing. It's
All right.
fixing to get real busy.
Since we're in financial, one update for the court, we have really been pressing GRP hard to get the final numbers for, well, all we need is the final numbers. We don't even need the audit. Just give us the final official numbers for 21. Once that's done, 21 we'll have 21 done, and then 22 is sitting there ready to take those numbers. And let's say early February, 22 will be done.
Oh, that'd be good.
Okay.
Maybe a little ambitious.
And that may be ambitious, but we're still pushing hard for that. And then we'll go right into 23. So we got to move this along. We have submitted both of the preliminary applications for the community block grants, $1.7 million. One for a colonia, one for a community block. We'll hear in January where we're going to get those, which I think we have a strong chance of getting them because we haven't had one in 10 years. And so we all score very highly with water improvements and a few other things. We're going to be okay, but it's all going to, ultimately that money, to get that money is going to hinge on our current financial statements. So we are pushing hard with our CPA firm to get this finished up, wrapped up. I think we'll be okay if we can get through 23, because then 24 is just finished and will be not unreasonable not to have 24 until later in the year. But that's kind of where we are on that.
And the new auditors for 22 are scheduled
Come back here.
to be here the last 2 weeks of January, doing the remainder of the field work on that. So, but it's just only numbers.
Okay. Anything else, Melinda?
That's it.
All right. I think the only thing left to do is we right now have a commissioners court meeting set for Christmas Eve. I'm afraid I might be the only one here. Actually, I'm not gonna be here, so y'all will be the only ones here.
I'll be here.
So,
I won't.
what I'd like to suggest to the court is we've got one issue really that we got to take up before we adjourn for the holidays. You guys are familiar with the Alpine Independent School District taxpayers overpaid in 2023. Their property taxes related to school, only school, and the county and the rest of the agencies didn't have anything to do with it. But so, because the calculation for 23 was calculated wrong, taxpayers overpaid, which is good. I guess if you had to have one thing, it's better to overpay than ask the taxpayer for more money. So the school district is going to have to pass an order agreeing that the amount, and Sylvia is working on that amount right now. School district will go to their board and approve an order to refund what amounts to about $453,000 to about 600 citizens. Once that order is approved, we will pass our order because the tax assessor works for us. We'll pass a mirror order that says, yes, it's okay for the tax assessor to reissue those refunds. And once the order is done, then we have 60 days to issue the refund. So it's not, we're not, I'm sure everybody would love to have the refund, but we're not in a hurry to do the refund. We've got to get the order done before Christmas. So I'm gonna make a motion that we do not have a meeting on the 24th, but I'd like to set up a special meeting on the 18th, which is a week from tomorrow at 9:30 in this courtroom to sign off on this order for the refunds.
I know other board meeting that day, but y'all probably do it without me.
Okay. Yeah, Sarah and Bo should be here. So can y'all do the 18th,
What time?
9:30?
Okay, because the lunch is at noon, sheriff's lunch is at noon.
Yeah, this thing will take 5 minutes.
Can you explain how the 600 people who paid early are due a refund?
Well, they didn't really pay early. They just got
Overpaid.
we all got the bill.
Oh, okay.
I'm one of them. Hey, we all got our bill and we paid our bill and it was wrong. And it had to do with, so in 23, the legislature increased the homestead exemption for those over 65 and a homestead from 40,000 to 100,000. So when they set the 23 rate, not the rate, but when they started calculating it, they didn't calculate the $100,000. So the amount in 23 was too high. And so everybody overpaid by X amount of dollars, depends on the valuation of your home. And so everybody's entitled to a refund. Some paid early and got it corrected, but most didn't. And so that's what's creating.
So these are not the taxes that were due by the end of January. This is from the prior year.
Yeah, so these are taxes that were due January of 24. Okay, now
Right.
the tax bills that you just got for 24, that's going to be due this next month, they're actually due now that you got, everybody pays them in January.
Yeah.
You're going to get another tax bill because it was, your 24 tax bill was wrong
Okay,
as well.
as well.
Just for Alpine?
Just for the Alpine Independent School District, so you wouldn't see it. So if you got a bill and you're in the Alpine Independent School District, you're gonna get another bill shortly. Pay the second one, it'll be smaller. I mean, you can pay the higher one if you wish, but.
Right.
Right.
So, because I have people call me and ask me, why are my taxes up? And so if you haven't paid yet, wait.
Just wait,
If you have paid,
then we'll refund it.
then wait and wait.
Yeah.
Either way, you wait.
I know a lot of people probably like to pay their taxes by the end of the year for tax reasons.
Yeah.
But, and those statements will be out shortly. So 24 is right. We don't have a mess there. It's 23's taxes that created a refund. So the school received $453,000 more than they should have.
Will the refund come in the form of checks back to you? Or?
Yeah.
And the county treasurer's office is writing the checks?
No,
Or the-
that'll be the tax assessor that'll write the checks.
Okay,
So it's all over in the tax assessor. And so our job on the 18th will be to agree with the numbers that the school district has agreed to, and then order because it takes us as the court to order the tax assessor to issue the refund. Out of a legal process that we've had to spend a lot of time with our legal counsel on.
nice.
Again, thank goodness it's a refund and not a.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can go back to the taxpayers and ask them for more money, but at least everybody's gonna get a little post-Christmas bonus if
If you're over 65. right?
if you're 32 years old, you're not impacted by that. It's just old folks who get impacted by it.
So, also on that agenda for that day, can you give the ladies go ahead to pay whatever they need to?
On bills.
We've already got that in the works.
Other than that, so my motion is that we not have a meeting on the 24th and we set up a meeting for the 18th special meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. If there's no further business for this court is now adjourned. Thank you. Thank you.